What is good, Tsla family? It's Ray J back with another video, and in this one, I'm going to break down what's going on with the overall market, what Jerome Powell just said during his testimony, how this is affecting Tesla, what levels to be watching for, and also another piece of news that is affecting Tesla that just came out very, very recently. Before I break anything down about all this information, though, before I talk about what's going on with Tesla's stock and the overall market, I do have to mention a couple of things before starting. Firstly, I'm not a financial planner, so take none of this as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please smash the like button if you want to see more videos like this. It not only benefits me, it benefits the entire Tesla community as a whole. And finally, don't forget about the Moomoo link. The offer ends very soon. Put in $100 and you're guaranteed 5 free stocks with a $100 cash reward. The offer ends in 9 days. Check it out before they run out. With that out of the way, let's get on with the video. Tesla is down 4.8% as of right now, but it is making an attempt to try to bounce off this important support right here. But the question is, why did the market come down? What did Jerome Powell just say? So I'm just going to briefly talk about this. Basically, Powell mainly said some arbitrary things. He didn't say anything that was like too crazy most of the time, but he did say a couple of things that were more on the hawkish side. Now, he said that the Fed is likely going to raise rates again and possibly multiple times again. He said that the Fed never confirmed that this is going to be a pause, and we should not necessarily assume that. He also said that when it comes to the inflationary fight, we still have a long way to go. They're very far from the 2% target that they have. So we have to be patient with this, and we have to be ready for what the Fed could do. He also mentioned that when it comes to the banking situation, as he talked more about the banking situation after the committee members asked him about it, uh, the market started selling off even more because of that. He said that the Fed could be more strict on policy when it comes to that. The Fed could do a better job at overseeing the banks. And on top of that, this led to more selling pressure. But the question is, why did Tesla underperform? Why is it still more down than the market when it comes to where it should be based off its beta? So what I mean by that is SPY is only down 0.3%, right? The QQQ is down about 1% as of right now. The Nasdaq's down 0.9%, SPX is down 0.3%. So Tesla should be down about 2 to 2.5%. Instead, this thing is down almost 4.5%, almost like 5% for some time today. Why did this happen? Well, the answer is this news came out that Barclays has downgraded Tesla, saying that investors should take their profits after the massive, massive rally. So basically, Tesla's getting some negative ratings from some of these analysts, but it's not the end of the world because Wedbush and other analysts are also very bullish. So it's kind of in the middle when it comes to that news, but some analysts came out and are saying you should take your profits on Tesla, and that's part of why we saw more selling pressure. Then we had the Jerome Powell effect, and that caused the market to sell off even more. But now Powell is done with his speech, his testimony, and the market is starting to improve a bit. So what should we be watching for on Tesla? Go to the 30-minute time frame and look at the extended hours. This could be one of the charts to look at. The 200 EMA right over here around this 258 level is acting as support alongside the 260 area. This 258 to 260 area is very key, and this is where Tesla's trying to bounce off of. And as Tesla's trying to bounce, you could see it's now trying to break above the 5 EMA and trying to test this like 262 zone right over here, 262 to about 262.5, the entire zone. We're getting very close to it, and Tesla's still trying to gain some strength. If it breaks 262.5, it has the potential to get closer to like 265. It is fighting for now, and it's still showing some signs of improvement. If it breaks 265 and manages to hold above that, then we're going to be watching this thing try to get closer to where the 50 EMA is on the 30-minute time frame at 268. It is a possibility, not a guarantee, but once again, it's just like worth noting what the resistance levels are. Now, when it comes to support, it needs to hold above 258 to 260, but specifically 258, which is where 200 EMA happens to be on the 30-minute time frame. If it breaks below this, that's not going to be a good sign for Tesla. It's going to come all the way down to the mid 250s. And if that fails us, we're going to be watching 250 flat for Tesla, basically. 250 flat is going to be the major support if we end up dropping that low and breaking below 255. So watch all of these levels carefully. 255 is very important for Tesla. So far, it's still holding up well above it. So it's doing fine for now. It's not the end of the world because even when you zoom out of Tesla, if you just look at like the 4-hour time frame, for example, if you look at Tesla, it's still well above the 4-hour 30-minute EMA and also the 200 EMA. It's still on this very nice uptrend. It's still not necessarily like tanking very hard. It's not really like dying or anything like that. So it's still doing all right. It's still trying to hold up. And I do believe there's going to be a big reaction very soon, especially again when Powell's going to be speaking. But for now, we're going to just be watching these levels. Tesla's making an attempt to hold above 260. And so far, it is trying and it's making some very good efforts. In my opinion, it looks to me like it's going to continue to try. And I think it's going to keep fighting and fighting and fighting. But the overall trend is not really showing the reversal yet on the MACD. It's getting closer to curling, but it still needs a little bit more time for confirmation. On the 4 hour time frame, the same thing is going on. We do have a bearish cross on the 4 hour, but if it gets a true balance and manages to hold above 260 for an extended period of time, this could turn flat and give us confirmation that Tesla wants to rebound. We just need more time for the confirmation, because the reason I say this is because when you zoom out of the charts on the 30-minute time frame, Tesla was selling off for all of today. It's just barely starting to bounce like right now. So that's why I'm saying we need more confirmation. We need to give this thing more time. That's why we're going to be watching these levels. I do think it's going to try to at least hold above this level. It's going to try to reverse here. There's a good chance it's going to make an attempt to do so, but we have to be patient and be ready for tomorrow as well. We have Powell speaking again tomorrow. So, if things going to get worse, once again, Powell is going to be speaking again, unfortunately. That's just sarcasm, by the way. It's completely fine. For SPY, it's just trading sideways, doing the whole back and forth thing, but it is making a higher high compared to this range right over here. For SPY, if you want to watch this thing push up, you're going to be watching this 436.25 to 436.64 area. And I think specifically 436.64 is the zone to watch for. If it breaks that, we're going to be watching this 50 EMA. We have 436.94, which is not as significant. If we break this like 436 zone, we could start pushing closer to like 438. But for now, we're not doing it. And we only have about 2 hours left until the market closes. So we'll see if we could try to do so. But first, it has to get above the 200 EMA in this 436 zone. Now, if it breaks down again, you have support specifically at 435 and also around the 434.25 zone, and the very low 434 is next. If it breaks below 435, that's the next major support. But look at the 30-minute candles. You can see we have these wicks right here. So it basically touches 434 and bounces right back up. Does the same thing again, comes up, does the same thing again. So it has support. And as I told you guys earlier in the morning, the market is still being bought up quite nicely. It's still being bought up. It's not really crashing or doing anything like that. And we're only down like 0.3%, so it's still doing fine in my opinion. So there's a good chance that the market may continue to be bought up as time goes on. We just need some confirmation on the 30-minute time frame. We're about to get a bullish cross right here on the PPO, so things are improving. But for more confirmation, if we could manage to break and hold 436, it has a lot of potential to push up a lot more if we get above that resistance. So I went over support and resistance on this. Also, if 434 breaks, we're going to be watching 433, then the low 430s if that breaks. But once again, we have very strong support at 433. I don't think it's going to break today. At least I hope it doesn't. For the QQQ, this thing touched 360 and then bounced off 360, came very close. I warned you guys that if it broke below 363, there's a good chance it's going to get very close to like 360. That is what happened. It came right back up. Now it's fighting between 362 and about the 363 resistance, very, very close to it. If it manages to break this resistance, I'm going to be watching this get very close to this 200 EMA at 364.32. So we have this resistance first off, like right here, around 363, the entire zone. Break and hold that, we're going to be watching 364.32, 364.69, the entire zone. Then 366 could come, followed by 368 as resistance. It's trying to make its way up. We're about to get a bullish cross on the 30-minute time frame, so we're starting to gain some strength. And the trend is starting to improve quite nicely for the QQQ. However, like I said before, I oftentimes like to wait for confirmation. We need to wait for this actual crossover to get more confirmation, so it just needs some time. If it breaks down, you're going to be watching this like 362 support. 361.25 has some support. Then we have like the 360 area. As long as it holds above 360, it's going to be fine in my eyes. And so far, it held support, which is good. If it broke below 360, things could have turned south pretty quickly. But for now, it's holding up. It's doing well so far. So just watch these levels and just get ready for later on. Let me also add that going forward, okay, as I told you guys, Tesla's trying to fight, is still trying to fight right now. But going forward, we have Jerome Powell speaking tomorrow again. So another testimony in front of the Senate's committee. That's going to be very, very important. So please be ready for that. We might just see more sideways action, though, compared to today, because the second day tends to not be as crazy. So please be ready for Jerome Powell again tomorrow. And until then, just watch these levels and just look at Tesla. It's still trying to become resilient, trying to hold up. So we're going to see how it reacts to 262. And until then, thank you all so much for listening. I will see you guys very soon for the post-market update. Thank you for listening. Have a good day and peace out.